All right, I'm live. Hi, it's Tori Magoo 44. That's the name of my channel on YouTube. My name's Tory-Christman, and I basically am an activist. I was in Scientology for 30 years, and I escaped out in 2000. I woke up and realized it was a scam and escaped out. So that's what happened. And oh, hi, Verity. Oh, good. This is new. See, I'm doing this on YouTube. Usually I do it on StreamYard, but tonight I'm doing it on YouTube. Hi, Mara Loca. Hey, nice to see you too. So this is good. This is good. This is the first time I was on YouTube for years, just making videos and uploading them and kind of exposing the abuses of the Church of Scientology. Hey, hey, the Queen. Hi from Santa Cruz. Good to see you. Hi, Jeremy. Oh my gosh, I caught a live. I know it's the print. The only thing on YouTube is the print is very tiny, so that I'm not too cool on. But anyway, here I am. So they didn't normally. They have a thing where you create on StreamYard, which I'm used to. Hi, JV808, Midnight with Magoo. I got my wish. You did. um, I do a show, Midnight with Magoo, which I'm probably going to switch to earlier because I just stand for a number of different reasons. But I'll probably do one night, like maybe Friday night, I'll do midnight. But the rest of them, I'm going to try to keep inching it down so that more people can see it, and I can go to bed earlier. Because what happens is when we do it at midnight, it ends up usually going till 1. And that's good for a lot of people because there's other people around the world that get to see it. So that's the good part of it. But the downside of it is I end up sleeping most of the day, at least until noon, because I'm up all night. So anyway, hi. Let me see if I can read these. Verity, great to see you experimenting with technology. Thank you. Thank you very much for your support. I appreciate that. There's no circle around you. That is correct. This is the old Magoo studio in my bedroom, which I've done since 2000. Well, 2008, we started YouTube. Yeah, what happened is, and I'm going to explain this. In 2008, there's a large group of people called Anonymous, and someone had leaked a video of Tom Cruise onto the internet, and he looked like an idiot. He was like, "You're either in or you're out," and that's really how they are. So Scientology didn't want that up there because he didn't look very cool. So I don't know exactly what they did, but they kind of hassled YouTube saying, get it off. And Anonymous said, not on our watch. You don't own the internet. We do. We the people. And that's what happened. So they took on it was like Anonymous, someone explained it to me. Anonymous is like a pie. So there's a lot of different slivers. They do a lot of different things. But this particular sliver took on the Church of Scientology and their abuses. And it was amazing for me because I had been speaking out since 2000. I wasn't planning on it, but they turned me into an activist because they kept picking on me. And my dad taught me how to handle bullies. And so it was like, all right, you want to go that route? I can go that route. And so I made over 1,000 videos before I started doing live stream. And, they're really educational. Many people have told me. So that's good. So anyway, that's what happened. And then COVID happened. Well, Anonymous happened, and that sort of opened up everything. Before Anonymous, the media would do only little short interviews. They would do a whole hour-long interview, like with me, but then they would only show about 15 minutes of it. And most of it was Tom Cruise or another celebrity of theirs, and then a few minutes of me. And it was always where I looked the crummiest and, it was the least of what I wanted to say. So our message never got out. And it turned out the media was afraid of them too, because they are creepy people and they sue people and stuff like that. So they were like, no. And so it was a heavy time. But anyway, we got around it. Mark Bunker showed up, brought the webcam and said, "This is from Anonymous." And I said, "What am I going to do with that?" And he said, "We're going to start your YouTube site." And I said, "What am I going to do with my YouTube site?" And he said, "Well, we're going to make a video. Magoo has a YouTube site." And so that was our first Mark Bunker, who I recommend you go over and see his site too, because he's got great videos. He was literally doing it day and night all the time as a job for a long time. So anyway, wait, let me catch up on some of these before they go by. Nice to see you. Okay. You got your wish, JV808. Okay, Verity, great to see you experimenting. Thank you. Okay. And Mark Loca. Oh, and that's the other thing. Soon I'm going to have memberships. So I don't know if it's up yet or not. Hello, Tori, and all love from Culver City. Hi, Eric. Good. Thank you for letting me know. He actually sent me a little note today and said that some people wanted me to do Midnight with Magoo tonight. So I was planning on it anyway, but thank you for letting me know. I appreciate it. All right. So I was the one that DM'd you to do a live on my phone. Oh, you wanted me to do it on your phone. Oh, I know. You and I talked on the phone. Okay, so I know that's you. I know who you are. JB808, a protester and YouTube pioneer because of Scientology. I mean, I was definitely a pioneer on leaving. There were only 4 people that were speaking out when I left, and everybody turned on me. I mean, everybody. I had one friend, Andreas Heldeland in Norway, stood up for me. And even all the critics said, "Stop talking to her. She's an OSA operative. She's evil, blah, blah, blah." And, I was trying to say, "Look, here's what happened." And I was trying to explain my story. And it took a while for people to come around. It really did. It was very interesting. But anyway, they finally did. They finally got the story. So let's see. It's hard to see these little friends. Connie, okay, hi. Been watching you since way back, and you go Tory. Thank you. Yeah, I know. It's kind of amazing. There were people that were watching me. I thought there were only 50 people on the internet. I really did. I mean, they're very brainwashed in Scientology. So if you haven't watched The Truman Show, I highly recommend you rent it or download it or something and watch it and watch it a few times because it really is how Scientology operates. And it's like that. They're in the show. Truman didn't know he was in a show, but everybody else would turn on the show and talk about it, just like we're talking about it here, right? Same kind of thing. And it's kind of amazing. Anyway, it's amazing that I woke up, but I woke up because they kept asking me to do these creepy things. And so I was kind of getting to see the darker side of Scientology, which the critics kept telling me there was. And I was like, no, 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 there isn't. I didn't believe they really did bad stuff. I mean, really bad stuff until I was going to go to Clearwater, Florida and leave. And I ordered a van to go out to LAX, and the van was canceled. And I called and said, "What happened to my van?" And they said, "An anonymous person called and canceled it." Not anonymous, just someone using, and that's what they would always do. They'd use some phony name and cancel it. I don't know how they found out, but anyway, I got to the airport, and that whole story's coming up again soon. I didn't see the membership options yet. Okay, they're probably not up. They have to okay them. We just did it last night. So YouTube has to okay it, and then we'll have them. So there you go. No circle. I know. So what do you think? Better or worse? Let me know. and Eric. And see, YouTube is free. So that's what's better about it, because StreamYard for me was $53 a month. So that's kind of expensive. So even Bunker said, he was paying half that, but now they've upped the prices, because those guys got on early on. So anyway, we'll see if hopefully this will work, because I like it. What do you think? Is it okay or not? Do you want the circle? And the guys that don't know, there was this is a new laptop that many of my friends helped me buy. These guys online, and thank you for that. And when I started it, it had this circle, and it's had. If I go on StreamYard, it has a circle on it. I don't know why. I really don't. I don't know what I did that did it, but I don't know how to get rid of it either. So anyway, I'm checking to see if you guys like it this way or the circle. And I don't know how to get it back to get the circle. Oh yeah, that's right. I can go to StreamYard, but I'm going to cancel that. So let's see. I'll be doing a live stream. Wow, Eric, go on my channel at some point and talk about my journey with high functioning autism. Excellent. Excellent. I'd love to come on it if you want. Okay, now it's really tiny. Evening from Tokyo. Wow, cool. It's finally starting to warm up here. Oh, that's so cool. Wait, let me see. I'm going to see if I can move this. Let's see if that's better. I think that might be better. Let me see. No, not really. Evening from Tokyo. No, because that's too weird for you guys. Isn't this a cool light, though? Someone sent me this. Thank you so much. I like the format. You like this format, or you like the format of StreamYard? You have to clarify it, Connie. No circles are just fine. Save your money. Thank you. I appreciate that. That really helps. For reals on saving the money, one blue sock. All right. This is the best format. Okay, good. Hello, Tori. Hi, Susie Alt. No circle for me from Eric. Okay, good. Did your dryer eat the other blue sock? Good one. One blue sock. I love that nickname. That's funny. Hi, Susie Alt. No circle for me. Okay, good. That's funny. Did your dryer eat the other one? Yeah, he hasn't told us his story on the one blue sock, but you've got to at some point. Mine specifically like socks, Connie. JB808, I get used to the circle, but this is great. All right, good. Thank you, JB808. I know the circle was kind of fun. It was something different. It definitely was something different. I like this format. Sorry about that. That's okay. This is free, so it's better for me if you guys are okay on it. I thought the circle was a little weird, myself, but I didn't know how to get rid of it, like I said. So it was just one of those things. We talked in previous lives, one blue sock, about not seeing ads. I've had 2 ads so far. Tonight, you've had ads from my site? That's unusual because I don't see them. I don't know how ads work. So you've had 2 ads tonight, one blue sock. Hope that ad money pays off. I do too. Excuse me. JB808, one blue sock. I'll be visiting Japan, whoa, and Tokyo in the beginning of June. Oh, I want to come. It's my birthday month. Will it be muggy around that time? Wow, that you guys got to get together and meet at least. Eric says, I sent you a link to my YouTube on my phone. Okay. All right. Good to know. Hi, Tori. I'm glad that you're to see you tonight. Thank you, June. Well, this isn't too bad. It's tiny, but it's not too bad. I had one night at the beginning. Connie, I had one night. I had one right at the beginning. You had one. Oh, you had an ad right at the beginning. Okay, good. Hey, Sophie. Hi. I didn't know if you could come on here. I didn't know how this works. This is YouTube, but I'm probably going to switch over from StreamYard because it's free. And YouTube or StreamYard is $53 a month for me, and that's a lot of money. Hi, Tori. Sorry I'm late, but it's late night with Magoo. It's fine, Sophie. You're never late. Let's go. All right. That's the only thing with this. I don't quite know how to write the topic. I don't know how to do that on YouTube, but I'll ask Bunker. He'll know. Mostly I wanted to tell you I've got memberships coming up. That was the main thing. And I wanted to just say hi to everybody. Sorry about that, Tori. I forgot to preface what I'm saying. That's okay. Don't worry. I got it. I remembered it. There you go. Why do Scientologists get so upset when someone mentions Xenu? That was what I was going to tell you guys about. That was what my topic was going to be. It was like, how many people in Scientology really know about Xenu? And the truth is, they don't. And like I've told you guys, Scientology is like a triangle. And you have to pay for every single level, every single course, every single hour of auditing, every single book, every single everything, until you get about here. And that's where you learn about Xenu. So none of the Sea Org, none, ever get to clear or OT, which is where you learn about Xenu. I mean, there might be one if they're independently wealthy. There might be one person, but that's it, really. There's not a lot. So there's that, and they get upset because Hubbard said, and this is funny. Frank Oliver and I we went and saw. Well, let me tell you the backstory. There was a guy that left Scientology, and his plan was to go around to every single minister around the United States, educate them on Scientology and how opposite it is of any Bible and not religious, right? And then he was going to have them tell their congregation about it. Scientology flipped, but they did one. We got to see one in the Baptist church behind Flag. And Frank Oliver and I went. Frank used to work in OSA, and I volunteered with OSA. And both of us, it was unbelievable. There were like 500 people there, and the guy would read about the Bible and Hubbard, and the Bible and Hubbard. And they were just like, they couldn't have been farther apart. It was incredible. And then finally he said, well, do you guys really want to know what they really believe? And everybody said, yeah. It was like the whole 500 people going, yeah. And he said, well, I've got to warn you. If I tell you this, L. Ron Hubbard says you could get pneumonia. Now, for anybody that, some people you can just say, I have a cold, and they get a cold. So just so you know, you're not going to get pneumonia from this. It's just BS. But that's what Hubbard said, to scare people so they wouldn't talk about it. That was part of it. The other part was you had to go to ethics if you did talk about it. So they kind of get freaky about it because they don't want to get written up for, wait a minute, this person was over there talking to Tory about Xenu, or anybody. You know what I mean? So that's why they get so freaky. And also because if they know about Xenu, which is most of them don't, so they just know whatever bullshit Scientology is telling them, which God knows what that is. Remember, 2 Christmases ago, they warned a brand new person to watch out for her. She's an undercover CIA agent. And believe me on this, Alyssa, I'm going to use this forever. I mean, that is one of the funniest things. That guy was going to give them $5,000. And all I said to him was, be careful. They lie and they hate me. Because I told him, I said, the security are going to be here in 1 minute and they're going to take you inside. And that's what happened. The security guard came, took him inside, and then they told him, she's a top secret undercover CIA agent. And the guy said, I called him the next day and asked him, I said, did they come get the 5,000? Because in the old days, we would have gone and gotten it. He said, no, I'm going to Japan. He was a wrestler. And he said, nah, I'm out of here. I'm not going to do it. And I said, well, just out of curiosity, what did they say? Because he did come out and he was like all white, his face. He looked really freaked out. And he said, wow, they really hate you. And that's all he said. And I said, I warned you. So he didn't give him the 5,000 and he went to Japan. But I asked him before he left, I said, just out of curiosity, what did they tell you? Because I've heard all their lies, but, they've been around forever. So he said, well, they said you're a top secret undercover CIA agent. And he said it like he meant it. And I just burst out laughing. And then once I started laughing, he started laughing. It was really funny. It was really, really funny. I mean, that's a stretch, man. It's unbelievable that they lost $5,000 that night. And I want to remind him, just in case old Davy hears it, that's what the Regis were doing. That's what your lies, you tell them to just make up anything. But not really. It's not really a good idea. All right, so let me see if I can scroll down here. I still am having a hard time with this computer learning how to do it. Okay. Hey, Charles. Hi. That's good. Even from Tokyo. Oh, there. Now I can see it really well. Okay. All right. So now, no problem, Connie. Sorry, I'm reading your things. Sophie. Okay, Sophie. Yes, and you do have ads. All right. Is that bad or good? Is that okay with you guys or not? And what is it you always say, Tori? It's a multi-level financial crime. No, I don't always say that. I say it's a mind control. It's a mind control. Let's see, what do I say? It's a Scientology is a spiritual. It's not spiritual, but they say it is. And it's really a mind control, fraudulent business pretending to be a religion. Oh, yeah, that's it. It's a soul sucking, mind control, fraudulent business pretending to be a religion. And they basically take every dime you have, every dime. And people can say, well, I don't have any money. Doesn't matter. Do your parents have money? Oh, well, get them to sell their house. You would be shocked at all the stuff people have done. Okay, now wait a second. Whoa. Okay. It is kind of multi-level though, definitely. Okay, I gotta go. All right. Okay, One Blue Sock, you go. Take care, everyone. I'll be back later and read on the replay. Okay, thank you. And keep coming back, even when you go to Japan. You can stay in touch. You can. And we'll miss you. All right, Connie, take care, One Blue Sock. Yeah, have a good, I hope it's a night or a good day. Question, Tori, can you tell us more about your system, your activism and work? I've seen several videos of yours, and he was awesome, very revealing and brave. Are you talking about Andreas? When you say he, can you tell us about your activism and work? Okay, so basically, when I left, my plan was to just leave. That was it. I had no plans of speaking out at all. But by the time I went from Los Angeles across the country to Tampa and stopping in Chicago where my husband was, and then over to Tampa, they had done so many creepy things to me that I was an activist by the time I got over to Tampa. And that was it. It was like, I think the next day we went picketing, and I wasn't going to picket. I had told Stacy on the phone, I'm not going to picket. I'm not going to make videos. I'm not going to speak out. I am just leaving under the radar. And she said, Tori, we're only doing for you what we wish someone had done for us when we left the Sea Org. And I said, okay, fair enough. And I trusted her. So there you go. But they're the ones who did it, really. And I want to remind them of that all the time, because I told them that back when I was in. I said, you guys are creating your own enemies. All right, so One Blue Sock, have a lovely evening, and thanks for coming, from Sophie. Oops, I left out Frank Oliver's name in my question. Okay, Tori and Frank Oliver, you mean tell us about Frank Oliver and I? Well, we went to the, well, he made my sign. If you see all my protest signs, they have the stop sign, stop hurting families. Frank Oliver made that. So that was number one. And then we went to the Baptist church to hear this minister explain Scientology. And it was a riot. I mean, once he said, L. Ron Hubbard said, you could get pneumonia if I tell this to you. They all just burst out laughing. I mean, the whole place, it was like 500 people laughing. And Frank and I were like, oh my God, because we knew OSA was in there. We know how they are. And they're always at all the different things planted in there. And I thought, they've got to be having a heart attack, because it's just never supposed to be talking about, not ever, ever, ever. So here's this minister telling 500 people about it. It was like, oh my God. And he read OT3 and people just laughed. I mean, they were like practically rolling on the floor. It was incredible. It really was. It was amazing to see. It would have been a fantastic program, because he had quotes from the Bible and quotes from quotes from the Bible and quotes from Hubbard, a whole bunch of them. So he had it all laid out so that he could just give it to a minister and they could look at it and go over it and talk to their community about it. It would have been great. But Scientology paid him off. Yeah, all of a sudden he vanished. It's too bad. If you hear this, send me your things. Send the information, because I'll continue it. I will. I'd like to do that. Okay. All right. I cannot believe they call themselves a church. I know. That's the most pathetic thing. I mean, they're totally a cult. But calling them a cult to them doesn't help, because they completely block that out. That's like, we are not a cult. So Sophie said, Connie B, I know, right? It's a business, and it's a fraudulent business at the minimum. It's a fraudulent business at a minimum. It's not just a business. Ads are good for you. Good. Thank you, Connie. All right. Sophie, hello. It's been a long time, said Eric. Really? You've been on here for a while, and she's been on here, I think. I mean, I know she has, and you have. You both have. Oh, ooh. Okay. Tori, I was trying to remember how you said it. Yeah, it's a soul sucking, mind control, fraudulent business pretending to be a religion. And they will take everything you have and then some. And believe me, they're very good at that. I don't know if you guys heard this story of I think I've told it, but there may be new people listening or whatever. But there was a young man out in Hollywood, and he was black, and he was probably teenage years, maybe early 20s, probably early 20s. And he looked really bummed, and he was by one of the Scientology centers. So I went up to him and I said, "Can I talk to you for a minute?" And he came over and I said, "What's going on?" And he said, "Well, I'm thinking about joining the Sea organization." And I said, "Really?" I said, "Okay, I have to say something to you. I don't want to offend you. I really don't. But I can tell just by you're African American, somewhere in your genetic line, I would put money on it, someone was a slave. Am I right or wrong?" And he said, "You're right." And I said, "Exactly. So that is what you're joining. It's a slave camp. That's really what it is. It's got flowers around it and everything else. It looks really fabulous. Oh, come on in. We're going to clear planet Earth. But what it really is for the Sea Org is a slave camp. That's all it is. And it's never going to get better. If you're listening and lurking and you think it's going to get better, it's not. It only gets better when you walk out that door. And the way out isn't the way through. L. Ron Hubbard proved that. He didn't go through it. He left. The way out is the nearest door. Period. And there you go on that. So, all right. Thank you for your questions, though, Sophie. I always like them. You're really good at it. Eric, hi, and good to see you. How did they rebrand themselves as a religion? It's not classified as a religion in some countries. True. Well, I wasn't there in 1950, but I was married to someone whose mother was there in 1950. And, Hubbard used to do these congresses that are now on tape, and you have to listen to them if you get on a course. And okay, so back then they were called Dianeticists. They were basically just using Dianetics, which is a book and a way to handle your reactive mind, which Hubbard puts in your head that you have a reactive mind. And then the end phenomena, or the final thing to get you done with clear, is, you know what? I think I'm just making this stuff up. Thank you very much. Would you like to attest to clear? And in my head, I'm like, are you kidding me? This is it, that I'm making it up? But that's actually the clear cognition. And I'm just making up my reactive mind. So he put in your head that you have it. The end of it is, I'm just making it up, and you have to pay thousands of dollars to do it, unless you co-audit, which is what I did. But anyway, stupid. Okay, so now, thank you. Oh, that's so great. Okay, yeah, so you asked, how did they, so it was Dianetics back in the early days. And then Hubbard decided, he said early on in 49, if you want to make money, start a religion. So he switched it to Scientology, and a lot of people left. A lot of people. My mother-in-law told me, she said, "Tori, they didn't want to be part of a church. They were Dianeticists. That was their thing." And so I think that's where he came up with PTSSP, because that drew that line where If you're over there talking to them, you're PTS, a potential trouble source, and that means you're connected to a suppressive person. And so that got them to, kind of disconnect from those guys that were Dianeticists, saying, no, we're not going to do this. So that's basically it. And then he, started the whole religious thing, and that went on for a long time. I mean, it didn't really get big until the Wallersheim trial, when Wallersheim was suing him for millions of dollars and won, even though they lie all the time and say that he lost. He didn't. He won. And I remember back then, I was there at the courthouse every day. And they said, look, we need all the ministers and ministers' outfits. We're now going to put on every single folder priest penitence privilege. And I said, why? And they said, because then no one can look in them except for our ministers. That's it. What a scam. I didn't even get it then. I thought it was a little weird, but they were weird. You nailed it, Tory. It's a soul-sucking, mind control, fraudulent business pretending to be a religion. That's it. That's it. And that's my quote. And you can pass it around as much as you want. Eric, you haven't been here in a while, but I saw you and said hi the other day. Well, he's here. He's here now, so that's good. As someone who grew up with Christian values, what did you make of C of S? What did you make of C of S? EDICT, edict, to make the able more able. I don't know what that word's supposed to be, but it isn't that word, I don't think. First of all, I wasn't a Christian, I was a Catholic. And I quit being a Catholic at 13 because the priest kept saying, Jesus Christ died for your sins. And he'd always look at me and I think, you know what? Any God that I have, that is not how he would be. If there really is a God, I believe he is very loving, very compassionate, very caring, and understanding. I'm going through a lot of stuff. My parents moved from Park Ridge to Lake Forest, and it was in Lake Forest. So I lost all my friends from Park Ridge to Lake Forest because it was only like 20 minutes away. But 20 minutes when you're a teenager is a long way away, at least in Chicago. It was like miles away. They were totally two different worlds. And to have this guy say, Jesus Christ died for your sins, it was like, no. And I remember thinking, I was 13, and I thought, you know what? That's it. I don't need this. I don't need it. I don't want it. And that's it. So I was kind of out of Christianity, Catholic, everything, that whole thing, not mine. I started studying Buddhism and Taoism, which are Eastern religions. And I learned a lot from it. I really did. And I still love both of them. They have great, beautiful ways of living. So anyway, that was my basic. So then I became a hippie, and I went back to college. Then I went to Scientology. And so by the time I got to Scientology, of course, they're saying, Scientology is a lot like Buddhism. And it isn't, but you kind of, it's like a man hears what he wants to hear and disregards the rest. I wanted to be an auditor. I wanted to help people. So, okay, that fit in. I was, they find what you want to do, and then they go, that's Scientology. You could be a car salesman and go, I want to be a better car salesman. They go, we've got the technology for that. It doesn't matter what you want to do. They have the technology for it, or so they say. Okay, so anyway, there you go on that. I'm having a very hard time seeing these little tiny printed things. Okay, that was from Verity. Okay, I answered that. Sophie deleted something. Okay, Arlene, hello, beautiful Tori. Hi, Arlene. Hello, beautiful mods. Hope you're having a blessed evening. We are. Now I'm on YouTube. This is a new thing for me. So I'm excited about it. It's my old YouTube, you know. I mean, I'll be on my cell phone if I'm outside, if I'm over at the complex or something, I'll be on the cell phone. And but I think I can still do YouTube with that now that I think of it, because Jessica does. She's the one who kind of turned me on to that. Wow, you're making you're making up your own reactive mind. It's like the ultimate bait and switch. I know. He's literally telling you it's a scam. Yeah, I know. It's really, really tricky because you start out with Dianetics and it sort of works. It does. And I wouldn't say it works, but it isn't like it doesn't. I'm not going to say it won't work. It's sort of like talk therapy. You're talking to someone, you talk to them, you ask them, is there something earlier? Oh, yeah, there is. Oh, yeah, that's right. That was when that happened. Okay, now I feel better. Okay, good. Your needle's floating. End of session. That's Dianetics. That's the way it is. It's very, kind of easy. Scientology is where it gets weird. It really is. Okay, so I got to see if I can read these now. Okay. Tori, I think Verity is asking about a policy of making the able more able and how that would conflict with the traditional Christian values of helping the less able. Right. But they don't see, once you get in Scientology, that goes down the drain because they're into the up stats versus the down stats. All the people that are not in Scientology, they basically consider you a wog, which is, they say, is a wise old gentleman, but they really look down on them. And unless they're very wealthy or doing very good, and if they are, why aren't they in Scientology, right? So it's kind of like making the able more able is it, you're right. It's a big conflict from, helping everyone, but they say they are. Do you see what I mean? I don't know. It's very tricky because they say they are. They aren't, but you don't know it. And you might be out doing stuff and thinking, well, people are coming in. And back in the early days in 69, 70s, people were coming in. So it was like, wow, we're really helping a lot of people. It really seemed like it. And it's like, okay, the people that, are like homeless or something like that, in their world, they're just down stats. That's what they are. And they have programs supposedly to help them, which they don't at all, but they say they do. And you don't know what everybody else is doing. So they say, oh yeah, we have a whole different group that's helping them with that. And you're like, really? And they're like, oh yeah, definitely. We've got to help everybody. So we're helping them, sure. And then at the events, David Miscavige will be like, the police in Brazil are now using the way to happiness. And everybody's like, yay, and it's like, okay, what does that mean? The way to happiness is basically the 10 Commandments. That's, it's kind of a ripoff of the 10 Commandments. So, okay, they're using the 10 Commandments. They probably were before too. So it doesn't mean anything. It's just a bullshit making you think, oh, we're really helping them. Not really. Okay, now let's see. Okay, so thank you for explaining that, Sophie, as far as Verity. And Verity, if that didn't explain it, ask me some more about it. Okay, so Eric, my 38th birthday is on March 3rd, on Monday. I'm excited. I'll be relaxing and resting at home with my family and do some takeout for dinner. on Monday. Tori is my YouTube grandma. True. I'm a lot of people's grandmas. It's amazing. It really is. When I was with the kids, who taught me live stream, Jessica, 20, she's in her 20s. I was thinking, you could be my daughter. And then I started really doing the numbers, and it's like, no, you could be my granddaughter. Your mother could be my daughter, which is really weird. It really is. But you're right. I am your YouTube grandmother, and I'm proud to be that. Okay, now, sorry about my eyes. Maddie girl, hi Tori, been following since 1996. No, not me. I wasn't online in 1996. And yourself since alt Scientology days. Oh, okay, good. That would be 2000. That's when I got online. Glad to see you here. Thank you. It's good to see you too. That's always fun because you really have been through a whole rainbow of stuff with all of us. And this is, I think, O1G. O1G, good morning from Michigan. Hi. All right, and Sophie Tori reads out, I deleted comment. Is that funny? I don't know. I didn't know if you meant that, like, I guess I get confused on that. Like, were you deleting your comment or you're deleting somebody else's comment? That's where I don't know. Okay, so here's another question, totally different, but you have to put on your goggles and look at me. I got brand new blush today. What do you think? It's called Liquid Blush, and this lady told me at Target it's very popular on Instagram. And so I thought, all right, I'll try it. And I kind of like it. I think it's pretty. Anyway, I just wanted to tell you guys that. Okay, now let's see. Happy birthday to Eric. Yeah, for sure. If we miss you on, because you'll be busy Monday. So happy birthday early. Have a wonderful birthday. And Eric says, thank you. LOL. They pass out some booklets and say that that means people are using the technology. Exactly. But you know what? The freaky thing is that we believed it. I mean, I didn't, because early on I was kind of like, come on. First of all, why do you have to go to Brazil? There's plenty of homeless people here that could use the way to happiness. Why aren't you helping the real problem here in Los Angeles, where your organization is, and you do nothing for them? Nothing. But you're going to go to Brazil and sell them these way to happiness booklets. It's not that a Brazilian person has to buy it. They sell it to dentists and doctors and say, we'll put your name on the back. And then it'll say, Dr. So-and-so recommends this book. And then they'll be like, we're going to get out, 5,000, 10,000 books here in your area. And it'll handle whatever problem they have. So they will be going, well, who recommended it? Oh, Dr. So-and-so. Well, let's go to him for our teeth. He's a dentist. Let's go to him. It's very expensive. Don't buy into it. Dentists, doctors, physical therapists. It's very much a ripoff. Okay, so no, they pass. Oh, yeah, so they pass on. Okay, so MBRAT, Scientology has been slowly expanding here in New Zealand. Ugh. Lots of brochures in the mall. That doesn't mean they're expanding at all, just so you know. And a huge, sparkly new building. Yeah, that does not mean they're expanding, just so you know. And if you talk to people and they go, wow, Scientology is really expanding, you go, and that's based on what? And they go, well, look at the big sparkly building that they just bought. And you go, okay, have you ever looked in that building? No. Okay, so the next time you get a chance, go look in that building. Now, you should do it yourself so you know you're speaking the truth. But I hear all up and down California, we've gone to their ideal orgs, and they're empty. There's like 3 people in them. The day that they have the big opening, they fly in people from all over, and there's hundreds and hundreds of people. But the next day, we literally went, and there were 3 people in there. That was it. So you go look for yourself and then see. But just because they have brochures around means nothing. That's what they do. They spread around brochures, and they buy buildings, and they're all empty because they don't really deliver auditing anymore, which is really what brought them money. Okay, all right. So wait a second. I lost you. Okay, so while you're making up your, yeah. Okay, so Eric. Ooh. Okay. Comment. My guess about that trick of telling you you're making it up, the reactive mind, is that if you continue to believe after that, then you're really in the Truman Show, and they got you. Exactly. Yeah. It's like as soon as you say, I want to go clear, which is what everyone in Scientology does, they got you. And I don't know how many people in Scientology actually know that it's BS, because I know I didn't. I really didn't. I really didn't. And I mean, they made me get off my medicine for epilepsy. I had grand mal seizures. They kept saying, well, it's just because you're not being responsible enough, Tori. And I was like, God, I'm really a loser. It was just unbelievable how they twist your mind so that you're like, God, I'm such a loser. And remember, you can't ever talk to anyone. You can't talk to your husband, nothing about it. If you do, they'll write you up. And then you have to go to ethics, and they go, okay, what are you talking about your case to Joe Schmo for? What happened? Which you're obviously in doubt about Scientology, right? And you go, well, sort of. I mean, I guess so, yeah. And they go, okay, then you're going to have to start with the lowest condition and work on up. And it's a long way. It's a lot to do. It really is. And so people after a while just go, okay, it doesn't work for me, but I'm not saying a thing. It's just the way it is. It's not worth the amount of money and time and effort that you have to do to try to fix it when it doesn't fix anyway. My husband did OT8, came home and crashed my brand new car. And my ex-husband was a very good driver. And he came back from OT8 and slammed my car into a wall. And I was away at the time, came home, and it was like, what the hell? So I sent him back to Flag to get fixed, to get debugged, whatever was going on, get it repaired. It didn't. They can't fix it. The girl that was supposed to fix it left Scientology and called me. I said, what happened? She said, Tori, so many OT8s are either dead, they've killed themselves, or they're really, really sick. And she said, I just got to a point where I can't support it anymore. I said, I hear you. That's what happened to me too. Same thing. And how other people can, I don't know. I really don't. Bill Yachty, I really don't know about you. Because Bill Yachty knows everything that you guys know, and me. A lot of people don't. Like my ex-husband, he doesn't know any of this because they won't let him look at it. But and it's not they won't let him. It's like they brainwash you to not look because it'll ruin your eternity, right? And once you believe that, then you're sunk. Okay, now wait a second. I got to go up. Darn it. I got to get somebody over here to show me how to do this thing. Ooh. Okay. Okay, so we got Verity. Hi, Tory. Marty. Okay. All right. Well, do you guys have any questions? Wow, it's almost an hour that we've been on. Well, happy birthday, Eric. I really hope you have a wonderful birthday. I do. You deserve it. Yeah, I know it's funny that they pass out some stupid booklets and then they think people are using the tech, but they really do. I mean, a lot of them do. Okay. Good to see you, Arlene. Yeah, me too. Good to see all of you. Thank you for coming by. And thank you for being so kind as far as YouTube, that you're okay without the circle. I didn't know. Okay, forgot to mention it's always very empty when I walk past. Exactly. That's why you have to ask them, okay, you think Scientology is expanding based on what? Let them tell you. Don't you tell them. You say, based on what? They go, well, they got this big building. And they'll keep buying buildings. Wherever you live, they will keep buying buildings because that's what they do. They don't do anything anymore. They just buy buildings. So then you say, have you ever gone and looked in any of the buildings? And most, I'd say 99% of the people that I ask that say, no, I never have. And then I do say, well, I have, all the way up and down the coast of California. And every single building has 2 to 3 people in it. That's it. So their expansion is buildings. Their expansion is not what they used to do, which was counseling and auditing and really helping people, or at least people thought they were. So yeah, always mention that. Mbrat or Mbret. Okay, Marty Girl. First story for me was Stacy Brooks' Can, 1996. Then Tory. I think I was at that Can thing in Scientology. They sent me to ask the guy that drugged the elephant. They asked me to ask him something. What's his name? I forget. Anyway, I think I was there. I think Sophie says, I think people in it really believe it until they don't. Yeah, they do. That's the problem with it, is that they follow it, and it really is a man hears what he wants to hear and disregards the rest. One of the best books for you guys to read as a reference is Blink. It's Blink, Blink. And it talks about your very first instincts are right. And so often we have a first instinct, like the first instinct in it, the first example in it is the Getty Center, which is a big, beautiful museum of art. And they had a statue in there for 2 years. And everyone was admiring it and how old it was and blah, blah, blah. And one day a guy walked in and said, that's a phony. It was never in the ground. And they went to the guy that bought it and they said, all right, what was your first instinct? And he said, my very first instinct? And they said, yeah, your very first instinct. And he said, well, my very first instinct was it was a phony. Here you go. My very first instinct for Scientology, total phony, total weird. Get out of here. This is not your tribe, Tory. But then I talked to the guys that were auditors, and I loved those guys. They were really cool, especially in those days. They were really, really cool. So I said, okay. And they were like, we don't care about that stuff either. We don't care about the pictures of Hubbard. We don't care about the Sea Org. It's like, that's not our thing. We're auditors and we're here to help people, and that's it. And I thought, that's me. That's all I want to do. So I was in. But, they can find somebody who goes, I love management. Boom. We need you. There you go. Okay. It sounds unbelievable from the outside, but really it's very advanced mind control. It is. The two ethics experts who studied mind control and studied cults came to interview me when I first left, and they said the two worst cults are the Moonies and Scientology. Why? Because they build traps in your head so you can't look, you can't talk, you can't find out the facts. Now let's see. I mean, it sounds unbelievable from the outside. Yeah, I know it is. It is unbelievable. But you have to remember, like people like me, I got in 1969. There was no internet, so the only way you could find out about any of this is to go over to SP's house. And an SP is someone they've decided they're the most evil people on the planet. I'm one of them. They declare you suppressive. This is my suppressive declare. And it happened in September 15th, 2000. And for any lurking Scientologists, Hubbard had a whole thing you're supposed to do before you declare someone suppressive. You're supposed to do all these different ethics steps. They did none. David Miscavige, now you're declared. That is one of your biggest mistakes, David Miscavige. If you ever hear that, and for your little cronies that are working for you, you better tell them, because it's really stupid. It's really stupid. It breaks up families. It stops free speech. It makes you look not like a religion. You never will. You will never, ever, ever look like a religion as long as you're declaring people suppressive, period. You can take that one to the bank. All right, now let's see. Why didn't you do the 8 levels, OT8? Because I left. I did OT7 and I was out of here. I didn't even finish OT7. I just did 7 years of OT7 with no wins and went, hello, Tory, this is not happening anymore. I'm out of here. In the meantime, I'd been volunteering with my auditor, who I trusted, Bill Yachty, and he'd gotten me to open those phony accounts on the internet. I said, what are you going to do with them? He said, I'm not going to tell you. I said, why not? He said, because if I tell you these people are really evil, Tory, they're going to put you in deposition forever, and you don't want that, right? And I said, yeah. So he said, okay, so I won't tell you. And then you can just honestly say, I don't know. I have no idea what they were doing. And for a long time, I didn't. But then I finally went and looked because they started acting more and more mafia-like. And I thought, you know what? It's not beyond Miscavige to pay a mafia guy to kill some of these big SPs. And so I went on to look, and that day, thank God, they had the baking recipes on. And in between them were people saying, I didn't say that. Scientology is changing my words. And I thought, wow, this is what they're using the accounts for. This is stopping free speech. Now, was I ready to leave then? No. I just called Bill and I said, Bill, I'm done with this. I've got to go back to work, period. And I thought he'd say, okay, and that'd be that. Did he? No. He said, okay, come on over to this apartment, meet us. And, we just want to debrief on what happened. I go, okay. So I'm at their apartment. I've told you guys this story, but anyway, there you go. If you haven't heard it, you can go you're on Tory Magoo 44. You can type in escape. And I did a 10-part series on how I got in, how I woke up, and how I escaped out. It's a good series. It really is. So I highly recommend it. All right, now, let me see if I can read these. Good question, user. Ooh, no, wait, I missed that totally. And it's a good question from Connie B, she said. User. I don't even see user. Oh, wait. No, it's one blue sock. Sorry, you guys. I feel like I'm ignoring you when I'm reading this, but I'm trying to find what someone said. Okay. Damn it. I gotta. You definitely addressed my question. Thanks, Tori and Sophie. Okay, good, Verity. I'm glad to know that. That makes me feel better. Beautiful as always. Thank you, Arlene. Tori, your story. Now everything just went zooming up while I was reading that. Okay, here it is down here now. I gotta learn how to do this computer. Okay. Tori, your story was the first Scientology escape story I ever heard, and I thought and think you are a rock star for what you have achieved. So inspiring to me. Not a question, just saw you were online. Thank you, Allie. I really appreciate that. That means a lot to me. It really does. Thank you. That was my thing. I wasn't going to say anything, but then I thought, you know what? If I can help one person not get suckered into this cult, it's worth all the shit that they're going to throw at me. And boy, they threw some shit at me, but it was worth it. I don't regret it at all. Good morning, goodness. Oh, goodness. Spacious. All right. Good morning. And Sophie comment, yes, Tori, I thought it was really cute of you to read out. I deleted my comment. I had posted it to try accident. It was like half a word. I get it. So it is funny. I get you. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Marty girl. All right. And then Sophie's talking to Marty girl. And Arlene and Marty girl. First story for me was Stacy Brooks. Oh yeah, that's right. We said that. That's good. And then me after that. Hi, Tori. Good to see you. Hi, user name unknown. Did you get to see my brother? Are you the one, or was it? I think it's No Name is the one that is going to see my brother in Thailand tonight. I think. Thanks, Sophie. Anyway, sorry, username unknown. That's so similar to No Name that I thought you were. He's going to Thailand tonight to see my brother, or last night now. Connie B. They don't do auditing anymore? Nope, not really. A little bit, but they've not really. It's not their thing. I think Miscavige figured it's too much of a hassle. YRB. The newsprint paper the way to happiness is printed on is more likely was used as fire starter or toilet paper. I think you got that one right, YRB. Sophie agrees. Ain't that the truth? YRB question. Do you know for certain that all ideal orgs in California have facilities for the purification rundown? How would I know that? I've been out for 24 years, almost 25 in July. No, I don't. But generally they do. I mean, does it matter? If it matters to you, the important thing, I think, this is my own opinion, but I think the more people that can write to fire stations, police stations, schools, and let them know about various different abuses that Scientology does, like the purification rundown, and they, let police and fire department know, because they'll pitch it like, oh, we can help you. I'm sure they're pitching the guys here because of the fire. I think people in it really believe it until they don't. Yeah. So that's why I didn't do the 8 level, is because it was so shitty and I didn't have any wins. So why would I do 8? And I saw my husband, and he was a complete and utter wreck. Every OT8 I knew was a mess, a complete mess. And here, my ex-husband was one of them. So why would I do that? It was like, no, I'm out of here. Okay, so Connie B question. So are all of these celebrities at the highest level or clear? Usually they move them up the bridge, and remember, they keep them very separated from any of the stuff I'm talking about and make sure they don't read the internet. Like someone was telling me last night, we were just talking about the lady that stars in The Handmaid's Tale, and she was like, how could someone be in, how could they watch that and not get it? And I said, I'll bet you, I would put money on it, she's never seen the show. She's been in scenes from the show, but putting it all together, and I know that from sitting in court a few months ago behind Rick Moxon, who's their attorney, and they had tricked this other guy into thinking the other guy, Danny, drove into him. But all they had on their, he opened up his laptop and he just had boop, 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 boop. And I realized, oh my God, they're just showing him little security clips that they want him to see. And the guy was like looking around over at Danny's attorney and her laptop, and she was playing the whole video. And he could see he driving into Danny. It was really spooky to see. I mean, it was really spooky. He was freaked out, but not enough to leave. All right, now let's see. Question. So are all these celebrities? Oh yeah, okay. So I think most of them, yeah, they get them up as high as they can. Good question. User name unknown. Yeah, it is. So I hope that explained it. If it didn't, ask me another one. Happy birthday for Monday. Yeah, Eric. All right, YRB. They've had him believing that he controlled the physics of the physical universe and that wall would move. Maybe I missed an earlier thing you said. Are you talking about the Berlin Wall? I'm not sure what you're talking about, but they did have an event where Miscavige announced the Berlin Wall went down because of OT8 being released. Tori is so tough. I love when she goes on a roll. 7 years on one level. I had no idea. It's a long time. I mean, Gold came to interview me because they would always interview me. Oh, Tori, we're doing a video. Come on over here. And, I would always go for it. Yeah, sure. So now they come up to me and they go, and they're young kids from Gold, and they go, we want to get your wins for OT7. And I said, okay, listen to me carefully. I don't have a win from OT7. I don't have one win from OT7. And they all look really freaked out and green. And I said, I have wins from training, but I don't have wins from OT7. And I'm not going to lie to you and say I do. And they left. They never interviewed me again until the last book came out, which was the original Way to Happiness. They took some different quotes from that and made a little magazine, and I'm in it. And that was it. Yeah, they didn't talk to me at all. They had to probably do some auditing. They were freaked out. Where did you see the new building? Okay, he's asking someone else. Well, it's not entirely new. It's been open for a few years. I think it's opening during COVID. Okay, newly renovated. They've always got stuff that they say is it's new. And Tori, I was telling username unknown that they asked a good question about you and OTA. Thank you. Thank you. And I think I answered it, I think. Brett, okay. This is Sophie answering different people. Yeah, I think you're right. Hey, has everybody hit the like button? Wow, we're doing good. There's 62 people in here. Well, no. We're 62 and 55 likes, so we're close. So if you haven't done it, hit the like button so that we at least are at that. That's good. I can see that on YouTube now. I'm happy we're doing this. I really am. I'm happy. This is going to be better. It is. And then I can cancel StreamYard. Bah. Hello, $53 a month. That'll help. I agree with you about QAnon. Okay, I missed that. I think you're right. Question: does Scientology still bother you like they did at first? I'm not going to answer that, but I would say they do, but they don't as much as they did because they have so many more people to handle. Remember when I left, there were 4 people speaking out on the internet, and I was one of them. So they were pounding me day, night, and weekend. But now they have a plethora of people that have mobs of people that are following them. So they've got their work cut out for them. So yeah, they've still got their lies up about me and stuff like that. But I wouldn't say I'm a top priority on that, and that's fine with me. You can do whatever you want, Scientology. I'll be there if you guys want to pick on me again. It doesn't work. Picking on me only brings many, many more people watching what you're doing. That's all that happens. And I'm not saying that because I'm somebody special. It's just that's what happens when they pick on anybody. It's like they do the wrong thing and people go, that's not right. And more people go, I think I am going to join this and speak out. It's really cool. I mean, there's a lot of people speaking out now. It's really great. It just is. Okay, now, wait. Yeah, I think you're right. Does Scientology still bother you? Okay, I think I answered that. I agree with you about QAnon. I didn't see the QAnon thing, so Connie, you'll have to add you or Marty girl are going to have to ask me again about QAnon. I don't know anything about QAnon, so it doesn't matter because I have nothing. I have no. I mean, they seem nuts from what I've seen, and I'm sure OSA is in there, just like Reddit. They're in there. Believe me, if you see all the shit about different people, that's the Office of Special Affairs. That's Scientology. They're in there. It's Yachty, I'm sure. It's not only him, but I'm just saying they're in there. It's not me. Username name unknown. Question: where did you see this Scientology? Where do I see Scientology heading in the next 10 years? I think more and more people are going to understand how abusive it is. I don't know. My friends and I who've been in it for years, we all think it's going to be like not the Christians, like the Christian Science reading room kind of thing, where it's there, but they're never going to expand again. That's it on that. Too many people have spoken out. There's too many facts out there. It's never going to happen, Miscavige, never. And even if Miscavige dies and somebody takes over, it's based on the policies of L. Ron Hubbard. So not going to happen. Have you witnessed child auditing firsthand? Never. I am amazed. Never. I mean, you have to understand, I was a public. So for me, any auditing I got, unless I was co-auditing, which was me and usually another person my age, I would audit you, you would audit me, that kind of thing. And that's all, and that was all people of adults. But we also had to buy, like for the OT levels, we had to buy them. We had to pay them. I had to work. We had to earn money. We had to pay thousands and thousands of dollars to pay for this shit. So I'm not going to have some kid auditing me when I've paid $10,000 for something. It's not going to happen. I never even heard of it. I never even heard of it until I left, and I've been out 24 years. I heard of it last year from Serge, and he didn't even tell me. Michael, his husband, came down the street and started saying I was responsible for all of Serge's upsets. And I'm like, pardon me? I don't even know who Serge is. I never even met him. I only heard his name a month ago, or a couple weeks ago. From then, I really know. So for me, I did see the babies when these kids were babies. I was standing up for them, trying to say they need to have time with their parents, because the mothers would have them next to them in a little bassinet, and they'd be like doing their post. And I'd say, look, I'd go to the executives and I'd say, this isn't right. These kids, everyone's smoking in here. It's like a casino. And these babies are inhaling all this. I tried to stand up for them at that point. Then they said they got the ranch. Now, none of us public knew that the ranch was as awful as it was. I doubt if the Sea Org knew that it was as awful as it was, except for the guys that were there at the ranch. So it was tricky. No, I didn't. But I'm glad that they're speaking up about it. I really am. And to the person who said, you think you're a spokesperson for the second chance, I never said that. Not ever. I would never say that. I barely know the second chance. I've just met them as they've started speaking out, and we've been meeting and stuff like that. I would never say that I represented them, ever. But I have a right to say what I feel and what I've done, and that's all I did. And then the guy also asked, well, why didn't you tell about all the abuses at Apple School? I worked at Apple School. I taught 2-year-olds for a year, and I have never, ever, and I meet with the staff, the old staff of Apple School, like once a month. We get together and have a ladies' luncheon. And I have never, ever heard these horror stories that this person was saying have happened, ever. And I've never from anybody that went to Apple School. So not on my watch. I don't know it. Okay, so Verity Night Lovely. I guess Verity's saying she's going to bed. Good night, Verity. Thank you. Thank you for coming. I saw 55 likes. Oh, 65. All right. Oh, yeah, we're at 72. All right. Thank you, guys. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. All right. That's so strange, but I only see 4 likes. Wow. I can see 72. And there's 61 people in here. All right. So Connie and now see 71. So looks like Tori's up. There you go. All right. Safety first. All right. So happy to see you here. Hope you're happy and healthy. I wish you all the best. Thank you. I am. I'm happy and I'm healthy, and I wish the best to you too and everyone here. Connie, Sophie. Okay. I went out and came back in, and it was up to 70. So that explains it. There you go. All right. Hey, safety first. All right. Public and Sea Org are very different. That is very true. Also, every public is different. Tori's experience is different than most. Mine is so different because of epilepsy. And I always say half of me getting out was because of epilepsy. Because remember, I started waking up in 1972 when they made me get off my medicine. You start having a bunch of grand mal seizures and you say if you're going to follow directions. It's like the fact that I stayed in at all is unbelievable, but I did. But it was mostly because I was married then. I wasn't married when I had the seizures, but right after that I got married. And I really loved my husband, and then I gave birth to my son, and I really loved my son, and I had really nice friends, and that's mostly why people stay. They love their family and their friends. Public and seer, okay, are very different. That's true. Okay, but there were others who did child auditing, and I suspect it got worse over time. Yeah, that's awful. I can't even imagine it though. I mean, I would think, well, I don't doubt it. I mean, I don't doubt it. It's just it's not something I would work and go to work 9 to 5 and then pay thousands of dollars to Scientology to have an underage person audit me. I was in a course room with kids, and it was frightening to see how much they didn't understand what was going on just because of the language barrier. I mean, it was really something. It really was. It was spooky. Okay, thank you. Sophie, you are a good mod. She is. She is a very good mod. But there are others who did. Okay, yeah. Tori definitely doesn't deny anyone else's experiences, but she can't speak on what she didn't see firsthand. She has always been an advocate for children who suffered from disconnection and suicide. And kids in general. I was an advocate way before any of these guys were. Way before they were. They were babies when I was trying to advocate for them then. Because I was really big on it. You have to understand, when my son was 2, went to Philadelphia, and there's a book called How to Increase Your Baby's Intelligence by Dr. Glenn Doman. And me and about 10 other friends, women, mothers, we all flew to Philadelphia, did the week-long seminar, and started doing the Doman program. So really, for the first 5 years of my son's life, he was on the Doman program. He wasn't on the Scientology program. So it was different. You see what I mean? That's a whole nother topic. Sometime I should tell you more about it. All right. Mardi Gras, thanks. Don't like when people try to do that. Thank you, Sophie. You're a good mod. What did they do? I missed it. I'm sorry. Okay, SPTV. Never ends. And Artology. Wow. Kelly. Hi. L. Ron Hubbard, true protester, right there on your screen, legend Tory. Thank you. All right. Hi, Kelly. L. Ron, finally a truthful word, sir, and never a truer word, and never a true word spoken. Yeah. That's what she said. All right, Sophie. Tori, you're an absolute legend and beautiful person. Thank you. I feel the same about you, Sophie. You're an amazing person. I really appreciate you being my moderator. I do. All right. Kelly, hi there. Okay, so YRB comment. In a large organization, it is common that different circles, different units, different groups of activities have different experiences, and that may change over the years. Very true. Boy, is that true. You should have come to some of my parties for the first 14 years. Oh my God, to hear all the different things people did. Seth 22. Tori, it's Stephanie. I have been trying to find out how to DM you about coming to San Diego. Wow. Can you give me your email address and I will send you my phone number and email? Ooh, I don't know if we have that set up here now. Do we, Sophie? It's just my name. It's Tory. It's not Tori, which you wrote. So it's Tory. And then my last name's Christman, like Christ man, CHRISTMAN 44 at gmail.com. Don't worry about it, Tori. Well, anyway, that's my email. So if you could put Y2, meaning YouTube, in front of it, I would appreciate it. Okay, Eric, question. When you were in Scientology, did you ever have to audit? No, I didn't. Because remember, we were public. I was on staff a little bit, but the people that are coming in getting auditing are paying public. They're not kids. I don't quite get how that worked, but it wasn't on my watch. No. Okay, don't worry about it, Tori. Okay, Eric did it. That's the question answer. SP. Okay, Kelly. So if I had to become a lurker in Mark's stream earlier, I hope people understand why I became silent. No, why did you become silent? I didn't know anything about that. But don't worry about it, my dear. That's from Sophie. She'll tell me. All right, Eric Haya. All right, and Howard Taylor. Greetings from England. All right. Where it's really cold. Ooh, ice and frost. Ooh, keep up the fight. I watched you from way back. Oh, good. Well, I hope you have a fireplace there. That's one thing I miss. I love fireplaces. Eric, Kelly, hello. All right. And Sophie, not your phone number. I hear you. Sorry, got it. I told you can come stay in my vacation condo free of charge. Cool. Just send me an email and mention that we talked on YouTube, about it. Okay, Tori, I don't come here often because it's 4:17 a.m. where I am, but I think you rock. Thank you. Wow, I'm sorry about that it's so late. Okay. Email. Thank you, Sophie. There you go. That's it. All right. Well, I think we should call it a night. I appreciate it. It's 70 people and 74 likes. So congratulations to all of you. Thank you. Thank you for being with me on YouTube for my very first YouTube in 2025. This is my first YouTube. So thank you. And I love you guys. And what is tonight? What is tonight? Oh, yeah, my watch is now working. What night is tonight? Are we on Thursday night? Yeah, because I went to Weight Watchers, so it's Thursday night. So it'll either be Friday or Saturday. You'll see me, one or the other. All right. Sweet dreams to all of you, or have a wonderful day tomorrow if you're in that world. And I love you all. And please bring more people over. I would greatly appreciate it. All right. That's all. Thank you for coming and have a delightful night. Oh, yeah, I got to do this down here. This is different. There's different little buttons that you have to press. Okay, someone's saying something. Okay, will do. It's right on the beach in Del Mar. Ooh, nice. I hope all is well with you. It is. Oh, ooh, oh, I guess the stream ended.